What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So, as you can see, new camera angle today, different clip, so I can use my dead time better when I'm driving to meetings or going back and forth. It's easier for me to chat to you like this. Today, I've just been discussing with a young lady regarding the Live Up plan and whether it is for gaining muscle or putting on weight or whether it's for losing weight. Now, first answer is it can be whatever you want it to be. It's just based on your nutritional input, what you decide to do with your nutrition. Do you decide to eat more or a little bit less, putting yourself in a deficit, maintenance or calorie surplus? That being said, one of the most important things you need to do when trying to build muscle, for most people, especially natural athletes, is to get lean first. The reason being is that when you are lean, your body is going to partition nutrients slightly differently. It's going to use carbs, proteins, etc. more effectively for building muscle as opposed to using those calories and storing them as fat. This does mean, put the aircon on because it's damn hot, this does mean that you have to put that effort into getting lean first. Now, from my point of view, what I like to do with females is probably take you down to around 12 to 14%, which is a healthy and lean place to be for females. Lower than that, in my mind, is taking someone down to dangerous levels, and I don't necessarily think it's aesthetically pleasing either. So I wouldn't do that. And then guys, I like to be somewhere around 8 to 10%. Which is obviously a lot safer for guys. They handle that a lot more easily, and it's not going to negatively affect their hormones in the same way. What this means is that when we get you down there, is that we can feed you up on carbohydrates, timed carbohydrates at the right time. What that's going to do is, because you're leaner, you're more insulin sensitive for the most part, that's going to allow those carbohydrates and the subsequent release of insulin to open up the muscle cells to allow you to shuttle more nutrients into the muscle cells. Okay, so that's point number one. Nutrient partitioning is going to happen far, far better when you are leaner because you're more insulin sensitive. Secondly, one of the great things about getting lean is it teaches you dietary discipline. And I know that when I change someone's diet from a fat loss style diet into a more muscle gain type diet, is that they have the dietary discipline and the control to do what's needed consistently. And that's what it takes to build muscle, is you have to be consistent. It's not something that you can do in a few weeks or a couple of months. It's going to take years of hard work to gain good quality muscle that's going to stay. So we have nutrient partitioning, we have general dietary discipline. One of the other things that happens when you're much, much leaner is you probably don't want to get much fatter because of the work you've put in. This means you become more intelligent in your assessment of what is good for you and what is bad for you. You don't start going crazy on cheat meals. You don't start going crazy on the things that are inherently going to fuck your progress up. Why? Because you can see it when it starts to happen. When you've got abs, when you've got these new lines all over your body, you start to see when they soften up. You start to see when you're holding water. You start to see when there's been some ill effect from an action you've taken. When you're carrying extra body fat, this is a lot less likely to happen because you can't see these lines disappearing as you make a bad decision with your food. So this is why it is important to get lean first. There are very, very many reasons that result in us being able to get you more muscular much faster if we get you lean first. One of the main issues that people come up against, and this is especially true for men, less so for women, but especially true for men, is that in order to get lean, you are probably going to lose a bit of visual size, especially when you're in clothes. And one of the barriers you're going to come up against is people saying, oh, you're looking gaunt, you're looking too skinny, you're looking this. This is obviously going to be quite dependent on the individual and how your body specifically responds to a fat loss type diet. But you have a choice here. Number one is, yeah, you are losing weight, but your weight doesn't matter. How you look is probably why you came to me in the first place. You want to look leaner, you want to perform better. Now, if you are performing better, i.e. the numbers are going up in the gym, you're probably not losing muscle. If you are getting leaner, your health is likely improving dramatically. We're also going to be able to get you to that end goal and put you in a position where you can build muscle far, far faster because you are lean. So despite maybe your friends saying you're looking a bit skinnier, in the long term, it's going to be far, far better for you. And when you have your shirt off, the chances are you don't look skinnier. You're going to look bigger. So you're going to have to expect these mental barriers to come, and you're going to have to try and overcome them. Because otherwise, what you're going to end up doing is you can be in a place where your mates say you look a bit skinnier for a few weeks, but then when you take the top off, they're like, holy shit, you look sick. And then in a few months' time, when we really start to push you towards a muscle building style protocol, you're looking bigger and bigger and bigger and getting bigger faster, to the point where people probably start accusing you of doing something you shouldn't. If we can follow these steps effectively, then we can build muscle far, far quicker. And again, instead of the traditional bulk and cutting cycle, you're not going to build a load whilst putting on loads of fat, then diet it all off and lose most of the muscle with it. If we can get you lean, keep you lean, and then sustainably, we know that if you put on 5 to 10 kilos a year of muscle, that this muscle is going to stay. You're not going to lose it. Okay? So you have options. You can stay soft and fluffy and fat, but look a little bit bigger in the t-shirt, or you can get absolutely shredded, look a little bit smaller in your t-shirt, but look better with your t-shirt off. And then when it gets to putting on muscle, or when it comes to putting on muscle, you can do it far more easily and far more effectively. So this is the long and short of it. The Live Up program, it can be whatever you want it to be. We can work on fat loss. We can build a ton of muscle on you. You know, some of the guys, for example, are putting on between 5 and 10 kilos of muscle a year, even more with some of them. But they have to get lean first. This is goal number one. And remember, it's goal number one. It's just a stepping stone. We aren't getting you lean and then just saying, right, that's it, you're skinny. What we're doing is getting you as lean as we can, and then we're working on building as much muscle as we can. So it ticks all of the boxes. You just have to understand the process, and you have to make sure that you stick to the process and trust it. Because if you do, this is how people get results. The people who can't trust the process, the people who try to rush through things, those are the people who are going to fail again and again and again, and bounce from program to program, diet to diet, trainer to trainer, and always blaming the trainer or the program for not being effective, when likely it's just their mindset that's not effective. So there we go. Get lean first, build muscle after. These are the reasons why, and accept that yes, there are going to be a few mental challenges along the way, but those are mental challenges to overcome, and long term you end up with the result you want, rather than bouncing from program to program and nothing ever working for you. And that is the classic. If I had £1 for every time somebody turned around and says, Elliot, I've tried absolutely everything and nothing worked, I would be a very rich man and I wouldn't need to be a PT. Most people haven't tried everything, or even if they have, they never tried one of those things for long enough for it to work. Pretty simple. Peace out.